Happy Monday, everyone. Let's get straight to the point. Let's first start talking about the 30-year bonds. The bonds showing clear weakness. This isn't a very strong setup on the bonds, but also there is clear weakness on the dollar. So what we're seeing here on the bonds showing weakness while the SPY and the entire stock market is showing strength. This is either going to be the first signs of decoupling from the bonds not being a good purchase, or this weakness in the bonds is basically showing that the overall market is not strong at the moment and we should be continuing to fall. So this move to the upside is just fake according to the bond price at the moment. Until we see tomorrow's open, it's basically very difficult to try to ascertain exactly what's going on. All right, so for that reason we entered into some lotto calls, and the reason for that is, so essentially this downtrend initially, right, we finally got to close above this level. There's this other downtrend from the highs of September 12th. We connected it to October 6th, and we can see that this is acting as resistance as well, and we closed right at that level. So if we are to have a strong move to the upside, this essentially, this setup is the type of setup that, in my opinion, I could be completely wrong, but just this sort of mush at levels of resistance here is the type of setup where we end up opening above 370, 371, to be honest. And it makes sense to try to take some lotto calls, to be honest, because if we do get a move to the upside, then the majority of that move, we can capture it overnight. All right, so us closing above this trend line for the first one close is very, very good. Okay, so for that reason, I do think that we could see 370. And another thing was, over the weekend I was saying that down here it made sense to be a bull, and today we ended up shooting up 3.6% on the NASDAQ, and over 2 and over 3% on the IWM as well, and the SPY. So really, we just need to see if this move continues to essentially 380, and if we do not hit 380 soon, essentially, right? So if we don't start moving upwards and start showing some strength here, if we start consolidating, then we're going to end up falling back down to 360, and then, in my opinion, we're just going to end up being deflated and just make a new low. So there's the only things that can end up happening now is if we just continue showing like extreme strength to the upside, or if we consolidate. I don't believe that consolidation can lead to another leg up. So if we do start consolidating, then it will be another opportunity to go short, like it was in early October where we went short here. So essentially what I'm trying to say is, if they're going to bring it up, it basically has to be now is probably going to be like the best opportunity for them to do so, because the setup is not super favorable to bulls. It's not exactly super favorable to bears either. So it would, in my opinion, this is like a really, really good setup for them to continue the strength upwards, in my opinion. So let's just see if that ends up happening. So on the NASDAQ, we closed right at resistance here. The IWM, we closed above resistance. And on Bitcoin, we're showing some relative strength. So it made sense to try to take a stab towards the long side, especially given the fact that every single stock indice, all three of the SPY, QQQ, IWM, Bitcoin, their MACDs are showing that there's a lot of room to the upside. So now's the time, essentially. If they're going to bring it up, they have to bring it up aggressively, and they have to bring it up aggressively in the short term. So let's see. That's my opinion. But it's going to be very, very interesting to see the developments on whether the bonds were basically just telling us that this move to the upside was fake. So yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. What are your thoughts on where the market is going to go? Drop them in the comments below and let's see. All right, cool. Have a good one. Thank you.